an unbelievably catastrophic day in Broward County history. It's devastating. I'm sick to my stomach. This is a terrible day for Parkland, Broward County, the state of Florida, and the United States.
A horrifying day for a community in South Florida. The nation watching heartbroken as SWAT teams swarmed a high school in Parkland after a teen gunman opened fire.
Tonight, the shooter, 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz, is in custody, but at least 17 people are dead and more than a dozen others are in the hospital. Cruz is accused of shooting people both inside and outside his former high school. Tonight, President Trump is promising a full federal response with the ATF, the FBI, and U.S. Marshals on the scene. ABC's Serena Marshall reports.
Oh my God!
The fearful moment. Gunshots rang out at a high school in southern Florida. At least 17 dead. The shooting occurring both inside and outside the school of more than 3,000 students. Students first can be seen running away from the school. Later, others evacuating, their arms outstretched. Student Michael Katz was in the school when the shooting began.
All of a sudden, I hear a sound that sort of sounds like a garbage truck, like banging. So at first I figured maybe it was just faculty, janitors, or whatever. And then all of a sudden I hear boom, boom, boom. And it's just stops, and I hear screaming everywhere. And we ducked underneath my teacher's desk.
And they've been trained to know just what to do for such a tragic event.
I heard 5 pops, and I was like, that's not a drill.
This horrific, homicidal, detestable act.
After opening fire, the shooter, now identified as Nicholas Cruz, walked out.
Suspect update. Weapons a white male, burgundy shirt, black hat.
He was arrested off campus without incident.
Actually, the most difficult part of the police work starts now. We're trying to find motives. We're trying to find culpability of other members of the family through this interrogation of this suspect.
The sheriff's office says the suspect used a single AR-15 in today's assault, but had multiple magazines. In a tweet, the president offered his prayers and condolences. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Well, today's tragedy in Florida is the 18th shooting incident in schools across the country so far this year. The database everytownresearch.org tracks shootings across the United States. Here's a look at the map of the incidents. 8 of them involved gunfire, but no injuries. 7 others were intentional shootings that caused injuries or deaths. 2 were suicide-related, and 1 was deemed an accident, though someone was hurt.
What's going on?
Nothing, man. What?
A traffic stop in Isle of Wight County takes a wild turn, and it is all caught by a law enforcement body camera. One of the 2 arrested?
A Virginia State University women's basketball player. This all happened Monday night on Route 460. Chanuher talked to one of the investigators and has more on what happened.
Well, David and Regina, the body cam footage is 1 hour long, starting from when the sheriff's deputy pulls the car over and ending back at the station. The Isle of Wight Sheriff's Office tells me this was a traffic stop that they do all the time, a routine one, but normally they don't end like this one. It started out as a routine traffic stop on Route 460. An Isle of Wight Sheriff's deputy pulled over this car, saying it was going 68 in a 55. The deputy approached the car.
What's going on?
He asked for her driver's license and told her she was speeding, and that's when things took a turn.
You got your driver's license registration?
No, I ain't got nothing. What am I being pulled over for? I got mine. What's up?
Okay, you were doing 68.
No, it was not. I was doing 60.
Okay, I'm gonna need your driver's license.
No. You got to call somebody because I wasn't speeding.
The officer further spoke with her and advised her that he had gotten her on radar and explained the situation. She continued to be very irate with him. The backseat passenger then engaged in the conversation.
The driver seen in the hour-long body cam footage is Virginia State University women's basketball player Shanice Vaughn. Her passenger was Natasha Bowman. Vaughn, throughout the video, repeatedly told the officer she was a basketball player at one point.
Be quiet. Call Coach James Hill.
Even calling her coach, James Hill. After talking to him on the phone, Vaughn got out of the car, still refusing to give a name or show ID. Vaughn was handcuffed and escorted to a squad car, still screaming at Bowman and repeatedly saying she was a basketball player.
Natasha, stop! I'm a basketball player, stop! I'm gonna lose my scholarship! I will lose
my basketball scholarship.
Stop.
I'm a basketball player. You know who you bro?
Is this
you know
what play for?
BSU, bro.
Okay.
Oh,
Is this how you act?
Bro,
is this how a basketball player acts?
In his squad guard, bro.
Subsequently, the driver was arrested for speeding because she wouldn't provide information that he could have released her on a summons just like we would anyone else.
Lieutenant Pope with the sheriff's office says Vaughn was charged with speeding and not having a driver's license. There's also a gun charge pending because there was a gun found in the car that was reported stolen in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Vaughn's hometown. Turns out she was the one who reported the gun stolen in Milwaukee. Investigators say she told them she went to Milwaukee and stole the gun back. Bowman is also facing a pending gun charge and is charged with disorderly conduct. Now, the sheriff's office said both women accused all deputies involved of being racist and fabricating stories. They also alleged $1,200 were taken from the vehicle by deputies. Virginia State University responded to this incident, saying Vaughn is now, quote, a former member of their basketball team. Their next court date has not been determined. Chinu Hurt, 13 News Now.
Late tonight, we learned Newport News police arrested a man wanted in connection with abusing a baby boy.
The baby's family members tell us the suspect is the baby's father. Police had been looking for that father for more than 24 hours. Robert Boyd is live outside Children's Hospital with the latest developments.
Gimme. Well, the victim in this case, a 6-month-old baby boy named Holden, is in stable condition tonight at CHKD Hospital, according to police. And again, just a few hours ago, his father was arrested in the case. Now, the suspect, the boy's father, is 24-year-old Denzel Arrington. He was wanted on charges of child abuse and neglect. Police have been looking for him since yesterday morning. That's when officers were dispatched to his house on Robinson Drive in Newport News. According to family, that's where he lives with his wife and their baby. Now, the original 911 call was regarding a 6-month-old not breathing. But when police arrived, it was determined injuries had been inflicted on the boy. Neighbors say it's a terrible situation, and they are glad Arrington is no longer a threat.
I love my family, but I mean, if somebody in my family were to do something like that, I don't know how I would react. It's really serious to me because I have 2 kids that are both under 2, and it really makes me just want to lock on my doors and not go outside.
Now, I spoke with the little boy's uncle this evening. He did not want to appear on camera, but he did talk to me on the record, and he said the family was very desperate for the boy's father to be apprehended. They definitely wanted him off the streets. They say that he suffers from PTSD from his time in the military, and he definitely needs some help. Live in Norfolk, Robert Boyd, 13 News Now.
New information tonight on the murder of a 3-year-old girl in North Carolina. A grand jury has indicted the live-in boyfriend of the child's mother. Earl Kimry is charged with first-degree murder and felony child abuse in the death of Mariah Woods. In December, Mariah's body was found in a creek after her family reported her missing. The girl's mother said she last saw her daughter after putting her to bed. Kimry said he left the door unlocked that night.
The search continues tonight for the person who shot and killed a man at the Virginia Beach oceanfront. The shooting happened near 16th Street and Cypress Avenue. Officers found the victim inside a car that had crashed into a power pole. Police have not identified the victim or a possible suspect at this time. A traffic alert overnight at the Midtown Tunnel right now. Alternating lane closures are in place for the westbound tube. Those closures will remain in effect until 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Elizabeth River Crossings also wants drivers to know that there may be a full closure of the tube between midnight and 4 a.m.
There's another chance for you and your family to get a free flu shot tomorrow. The Peninsula Health District is offering the free vaccine at the health department on J. Clyde Morris Boulevard. The shots are for anyone ages 3 and older. Health officials say they'll administer the shots from 10 until 4 until the supply runs out. As you know, this has been a particularly bad flu season. According to the state's latest flu report, we're still at widespread levels across Virginia, and there was a sharp increase in cases last week. Doctors say the flu shot is your best bet for avoiding the bug. Many of you have been wondering why this year's vaccine seems to be so ineffective. Well, doctors say it takes months to create the vaccine, and in that time, the virus mutated. Once again, researchers realize it's mutated. It's too late to change the vaccine. So doctors say the vaccine is still effective against other strains.
Volunteers for the American Heart Association are showing newborn babies some love on this Valentine's Day. They made cute little red hats to hand out in hospitals across Hampton Roads. The program is called Little Hats, Big Hearts. The goal is to spread awareness to new parents about heart disease and congenital heart defects. In addition to the hats, volunteers also gave moms and dads infant CPR kits. Now to another kind of a cute baby, a baby octopus. The Virginia Aquarium shared this new video of one of their babies. You may remember the video of an octopus hatching from an egg that went viral last week. Well, aquarium staff members are carefully monitoring the babies. That means the cute sea creatures won't be on public display for the next few months.